What is up everyone, Mark here, welcome back to my channel, welcome if you're new. Now that we have our winner for Belgium Eurosong, I am going to be giving my top 3 for Eurovision 2023. In my third place, we have Gustaph, Because of You. Now this is definitely not the song I was expecting to win Eurosong. My winner for that contest was actually Chérine. I also was a big fan of Gala, and to be honest, I would have been happy with either one winning, but this song was actually in my second to last place, and that was after hearing the full song. Now I was able to actually watch Eurosong, and even in that contest, I didn't think that Gustaph had the strongest performance. I mean, his vocals were on point and everything, but overall I just didn't think it was that strong of a performance. But I do understand why he won. Again, his vocals were very good, the backing vocals were pretty good, the staging was nice to look at, I guess. I wasn't a big fan of his costume. I don't know what his costume designer was going for. I thought it looked kind of goofy, to be honest. So again, I'm very surprised that he won. I'm not upset that he won per se, just very much shocked. And this is definitely not the result that I think was the best one for Belgium. I think that Belgium really could have had a chance of qualifying with either Chérine or Gala, but this, not so much. Now I also want to add that Chérine did not have the greatest performance. Her staging was a bit lackluster and her vocals were just okay, but Gala was really good, so I really am surprised Gala didn't win. Speaking just about Gustaph and his song, this for me is going to get a 7 out of 10, and I am being a little bit generous because I was going to rank this much lower, but considering how good the vocals were in his performance and just how decent the overall presentation was, I don't want to rank this too low, but I also am not going to rank this very high. This is really not my cup of tea, not a song that I would listen to again, and something that I really wish would have just stayed in the national final. I am happy for Gustaph. I think he did do a good job, and I wish him luck in ESC. But yeah, that is what I think about this song pretty much. This is definitely not the result that I expected, but it's the result that we got, and this is what we're having for Eurovision. So do I think this is going to qualify? Honestly, no, but I think that if he keeps up the good vocals and really delivers a standout performance, then I think he does have a chance at qualification, but that chance is incredibly slim to me. And yeah, just not really what I wanted to see for Belgium. I really loved Belgium's song last year. I thought Miss You was actually really good. I still listen to it every now and then, and so I was really hoping for a song like that this year, even if it wasn't Chérine, even if it wasn't Gala. I think even Ooh La La or Roller Coaster could have been fine, but this, not so much. Again, not a horrible song, not a terribly bad song, really not one that works for me, and that's about all I have to say about this one. With that, let's move on to my number 2 spot on this list, which is Tvorchi Heart of Steel. Now I will say that my number 2 spot and my number 1 spot are very, very close. Now the reason I have this second place is really just because it isn't the most unique to me. The song is pretty good. It is a song that I do listen to every now and then, and the staging was phenomenal, but the song itself doesn't have that many cultural elements, if any, in it that I usually like in songs, especially in songs from Ukraine, because as we know, Ukraine usually sends songs that are very culturally significant, very unique, and really chock full of cultural elements that I love to see on stage. Tvorchi is not only entirely sung in English, but it also does not bring any of those cultural elements to the song, to the instrumental, or to the stage, and so that is a big part of why this is not as high as my number 1 spot is. Still a very good song. I really like a lot of the stuff that they did with the staging. I really think the staging is the best part of the performance they gave. The vocals were pretty good too, so I have no doubt that they're going to sing well in Eurovision. Overall, the song has a lot of stuff going for it, just I don't think it is as unique or stands out as much as my number 1 spot, but still, very good song, very good production value especially, and just a lot of fun to watch and listen to. I really am looking forward to seeing how they stage this in Liverpool. I know that this song is going to be having a revamp, so I really am looking forward to seeing what that revamp is going to be like. And for me, this song is going to get a 9 out of 10. I'm not going to give it a 9.5 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10 just because of the reasons that I mentioned, and I am looking forward to seeing again the revamp. I hope that revamp does provide a lot more cultural elements in this song, maybe even a line or two in Ukrainian, but we shall see, right? I really am looking forward to seeing what Tvorchi delivers in May. And with that, let's move on to my number 1 spot, which is Albina and Familia Kelmendi with the song Duye. I really did love this song on first listen. It really stood out to me in FIC, to be honest. Not only is it a really fun and energetic song, but it has Albina performing alongside her family, which is something we don't really see in Eurovision. We don't really see a lot of family ensemble performances, which is something that I think makes this song stand out a lot. This song has a lot of elements that I like. Of course, those cultural elements, especially in the instrumental, and the use of the Albanian language throughout. I don't think this song has a single lyric in English, which is something I really do appreciate, and it sounds super authentic to Albina, to her family, to Albania, and to their culture. And that is something that I think makes this song rank a little bit higher for me than Heart of Steel, and I just like it a lot. While it does not have the same production value as Heart of Steel or Because of You, Duye is a really good song with a fantastic performance that I think could do really well in ESC. This definitely has a great chance at getting at least the top 15 if it's staged well and if it has some sort of a revamp. Now, I don't think a revamp is totally necessary for this song overall. I think just production-wise, I would like to hear this song with better production value. As it stands, even without any sort of a revamp, the song is pretty good. And I really am looking forward to seeing how Albina and her family stage this in Liverpool, because the performance in FIC did have good staging. Just like how Heart of Steel had staging that stood out in Vidbeer, Duye had staging that really stood out in FIC. I love how it begins with Albina being all mysterious with her hood on, then becomes much more lighthearted and also has some wholesome moments, like how she's holding hands with who I assume to be her parents, and also also there's that little dance break towards the end. The whole thing is really very well staged and just a lot of fun to watch throughout. And that is why this remains my #1 spot from last time. For me, just like Heart of Steel, the song is going to get a 9 out of 10. However, I rank it slightly higher than Heart of Steel just because it has a lot of those elements that really compensate for the lower production value and for us not being able to see it with any special effects or LEDs. And the other reason why it has a 9 out of 10 and not a 9.5 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10 is just because I think there is a lot of room for growth in this song. This song has a lot of potential. Will they revamp it? I hope so. And if they do, there's so much they can do with it to really bring it to the next level and make this top 10 material. So again, really am looking forward to seeing what Albina and her family do with this song and cannot wait to see this performed live in Liverpool. So with that, that has been my list, my current top 3 for Eurovision 2023. Let me know what you think down below. If you agree, disagree with my list, let me know what you want to see next. Let me know what your favorite songs are, and also let me know what you thought about Eurosong, because that was quite a surprising result, and I know not everyone is going to have the same opinion, so I really do want to hear what you have to say. With that, thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate all of your likes, comments, subscriptions, and support. And with that, this has been my top 3, and I will see you all next time. Peace.